Hello and welcome back to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas, still joined by my friend, comedian, voice actress, Zara Mizrahi.
Hello!
I said your name a lot earlier this time so that you get, it releases you into being able to speak.
Yeah, but you also weren't clear that that was the end of the sentence. When you're like, Zara Mizrahi, and then I'm like, hey, do I interrupt you or do I just jump in and hope that it's correct, you know?
Either whatever, follow your instincts, it's fine.
I did it.
We went to Chipotle, which if you didn't watch last week, it's kind of Zara if she were a restaurant.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
She loves Chipotle.
I'm so into it.
I said, how do you want me to introduce you? Stand-up comedian, voice, and she was like, Chipotle enthusiast, first and foremost.
I don't know if I have any other mission in life that matters to me this much.
Yeah.
When people don't know how amazing it is, I feel like it is my duty to introduce them. And
you're proselytizing.
Yeah.
For those of you watching this show for the first time, I'm looking for the perfect 5.00 dining experience out of 10, the most mediocre, and I'm doing it at all the chain restaurants in the country because, let's be honest, that's where we're going to find perfect mediocrity.
Yeah.
Absolute, right?
I think we disagree on Chipotle being
Chipotle's
mediocre.
Merits? Yeah.
But, I mean, I do agree with the rest of your statement.
I have to leave no stone unturned. I got to check every chain restaurant. That doesn't mean they're all going to be mediocre. We disagree on Chipotle.
We do, yeah.
But yeah, you just people call things good and bad like it means anything, but we haven't defined where good becomes bad. That nexus point right in the middle, that's what I have set out to try and find. And I'm doing it based on a restaurant's atmosphere.
Based on their service.
And based on their food. Yum.
I can't. Am I supposed to say that?
Did you hate that?
There's something about the word yum that
you don't have to say yum.
They're just... I don't know why.
Yummy.
Fine dining party of two.
We've been talking too long. Our table is ready. We'll be right back after the song.
Your table is ready. Follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs. I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready. Complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs. Knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some crap from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining. Just fine dining. Fine dining. Two letters on the sign are shining. Neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect 5 out of 10. Fine dining. Fine dining.
Atmosphere.
There was a gross drip outside. There's a puddle. You have to walk around it. It's like Radiator drip almost.
But my issue is that you're blaming Chipotle for this and
I
not
am.
the building. And
It's on the Chipotle.
But it's not like Chipotle was like, we're putting this drip here. Chipotle was
Honestly, I don't know that.
Look, the drip in the salsa is a Chipotle thing.
Yeah.
The drip in the building structural integrity is not a Chipotle thing.
I don't know. It's literally coming from the word Chipotle on the sign.
I mean, do you think they put it there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't make me argue this.
I'm sorry.
You might have a point, but I want to hold them responsible. You're responsible for the things in your building. If you had a floorboard in your home that was just up and someone walked in and tripped, they're not going to be like, oh, well, it was the building. They'll be like, your home needs to be fixed.
I disagree. If that person is renting that place, then they're like, fuck, I have to tell the owners because then the owner is going to be liable.
Sorry, I assumed you owned.
Okay. You think Chipotle owns the...
Okay, that's fair. I was trying to make the analogy about you and missed the whole point of,
that's okay.
Chipotle is leasing.
Okay. But all right.
I still hold it against them.
I mean, but it is part of the Chipotle experience that we had today.
Yes,
so
it was.
I'm trying to save you.
Yes.
All right.
It was. And then we walk inside and it's just corrugated metal and wood paneling. It's low effort.
It's pretty standard.
Well, for a Chipotle, that doesn't make it good.
No, but I mean, it's a choice.
What's the nicest restaurant you've been to?
The Chipotle on.
Shut up.
I really love them. The Chipotle has been there for me in so many times in my life where I really needed help. And like, I just can't.
Look, I brought you on because you're funny, but I need a real answer. What's the best restaurant you've ever been to?
I mean, I love Mastro's, even though I don't eat steak.
They're the highest scoring.
Oh,
I went for the show.
is.
Look, I knew they weren't going to be mediocre, but the week before we went to Sizzler and it just felt like a mistake needed to be corrected.
Yeah. It's hilarious that they're so good. Like what they're known for is the steak, obviously.
And you're vegan.
I don't eat it, but everything else makes it
still the best
like
meal.
a 10. Yeah, it's so good. Like
it's like you have like a team of people waiting on you too. And like every single service member is like a part of the experience. The atmosphere is nice. I like the one in Newport.
Oh, I don't think I've been to that one, but there's always someone playing piano.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, it
Do you
smells
go to the Beverly
good.
Hills one?
I've been there a few times. My mom loves it. It's a birthday tradition.
Yeah.
We go there for her birthday. And then there's one in Palm Desert, and I'm there a lot because my dad lives out there. So I always know that I can go there to feel fancy.
Yeah.
It's bougie.
So now, if they had a drip at the front, you'd be like, what? This isn't.
Oh my God.
If they had
you're
corrugated
so
metal,
right.
if they had corrugated metal paneling and like, you'd just be like, is this like a tin shed?
Well,
like,
that would be a choice, though. That's different.
Right. But you wouldn't call it good.
But like, you're literally paying like $14.35 when you go to Chipotle.
Yeah.
So like good for $14.
I guess I don't believe in good for. I just believe in good.
All right. I mean, that's
To
way
me,
less.
it's all one scale.
Yeah, that's much less nuanced
Sure.
than I guess the way
I'm
I
a
think
caveman.
about things. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess then it's not good.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't. This decor at Chipotle didn't offend me, but I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's whatever.
It sort of feels like you're sitting in a burrito. Because it's like you everything is lined with like the silver aluminum and it looks like ripply. You know what? It has like a wave to it.
You made it make sense.
And then the wood on the tables is the same color brown as the tortilla.
And like the brown rice.
And the brown rice and stuff. So it actually does go along with the theme. But the industrial art that they have.
Yeah, let's talk about this art.
Yeah.
Black and white, fancy photos, close up of the cups.
Yeah. And like the stools. It was like, here are the Chipotle stools that we have, which are always too far from the bar that they're like bolted near. Yeah,
you have to like do a weird reach.
Yeah, it's weird when because stools are so
shitty.
Yeah, and they're so like person specific.
Yeah.
You know, it's really weird to bolt a stool into the ground.
This is where you sit. I don't care about your arm length.
Yeah.
I don't care about your height.
Yeah.
This is where you sit.
Exactly. And it just feels really limiting and kind of scary.
Yeah.
And the stakes of being so high off the ground. There were no backs.
Yeah.
You know?
You could take a tumble.
I mean, I could see myself letting go of my defenses when I have a burrito in my hand. Yeah. It just doesn't feel safe.
California woman falls to death at local Chipotle.
From enjoying it too much.
Like 4 feet, but landed square on her neck.
Seriously. So we chose the booth that had the round table.
We took the one that like ominous meetings happen in.
Yeah, it sort of felt like we were having a real discussion where I would write down an amount of money on a piece of paper and slide it across. It wasn't a normal table where there are like 2 chairs on either
end. It was a
end.
corner circle booth but like the corner was weird because it was in the middle of the restaurant, but it was
right
like
next to the line where everyone's ordering.
So it was the corner because the line is like
right next to you.
Separated.
Yeah.
So we're like right up against that. There's like 4 overhead lights that give us like the lighting from overhead that, you know, when you see like a spooky movie, like a campfire story and people are doing like that flashlight effect on their face. It's that, but from above.
Yeah. It like an interrogation light.
Yes.
Yeah. Where I would have, if we stayed there for longer, I would have confessed something. I would have admitted to something I didn't do if we had stayed.
We were on the cusp.
I know.
We almost had bin Laden. We didn't hold you long enough.
I love that you think we could still get him. You never know. Maybe we could get him again.
America 2.0, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
I also want to point out one of those black and white photos was just an extreme close-up on the texture of the metal corrugated, like,
oh, yeah.
tin shed texture.
Yeah, because we didn't see it close enough when we were sitting.
This photographer was way up his own ass about what is art.
Because he also signed all of those paintings.
There were signatures.
Or paintings. I called them paintings. They weren't paintings.
They were photos.
They were framed
from
like
his
they were
iPhone
paintings.
camera roll.
Totally.
And then we used the square filter to be like, artsy.
Yeah.
And then took away the color. And he signed it.
Yeah.
So no one else can take credit.
Yeah. It's not like anybody else would be able to take that photo of the stool.
He's worried about like cup plagiarism.
You gotta mark it, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're really just scraping the bottom of the barrel of what is art these days.
Scraping the bottle of that guac tin
With your finger, too. No utensil. Yeah, it's just like... Also on the wall, there was like kind of an actual piece of art that looked like, not piping, but it was like metal pieces and like wood pieces arranged in a way that almost looked like a 3D, flat but 3D sculpture of different things. And there were three that I didn't really look at close enough to determine what they were. And then there was one that looked like an Aztec guy, but he had his hand out like this and something in it that was just a rectangle. And it looked like the type of douchebag who takes like speakerphone calls in public, like the way they just hold their fan, like, yeah, I'm at the Chipotle, like.
It sort of looked like a Picasso.
Yeah.
If a Picasso was an
guy.
industrial sculpture made flat. I don't know why I said flat like that.
Who did you just become?
For some reason, it's not just flat. It's like flat.
I'm so uncomfortable with that face. I feel like you just transformed and like I feel like people who do that with their teeth, like their breath smells.
Oh
like,
God,
maybe. You did that and I just like immediately started breathing out my mouth. It's just like, I don't want to inhale this.
It's just the natural
whatever this face is.
reflex.
But yeah, I don't like that guy being immortalized. Like, let's not... Representation matters, but not for the type of people who take those calls.
Yeah, that's the worst. Or like a Zoom call in public, or it's just like
the Bluetooth headphones. I guess AirPods now.
I mean, I don't know. It's not inherently annoying to take a phone call in public, but if I have to listen to like the other end
There's
of
an
it,
audacity
and then
to
like
it.
And then how loud you're talking matters,
and how long you make it last.
Yeah,
like, you should be trying to cut off a public call, or you should be out somewhere away from people pacing.
100%.
So that they know.
Yeah, or like music on a hiking trail. I will kill you.
Really?
If you're playing the speakers, like...
I'm not really a hiker, so I don't know what the etiquette of hiking is.
It's fucked up. You go hiking to like be in nature and just like disconnect and shit. And
it
then
does
people...
seem like a thing I would do.
To play public music?
I mean... I definitely wouldn't do it loudly. It might be on my phone at like mid-level volume, and if someone was passing, I'd probably turn it down or off.
Oh my God, you got to take those headphones you're wearing to the hiking trail.
These only plug, and the Apple phones got rid of the dongle, so I don't know.
Wait, they
do.
did? You can only use Bluetooth now with Apple phones?
You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, and I can dongle it.
Oh, I meant like, yeah, they got rid of the headphone jack.
Oh, yeah.
But like the new one, it's USB-C and they don't have a USB-C dongle anymore.
That's so annoying.
So until they make a dongle that works with the new phone.
Why do they do that? Haters. Yeah. Okay.
Now, actually, speaking of turning down music as I walk by, there was something a little peculiar that happened. We walked in and there was like normal level volume music. And then very quickly after we got in the line, it's like it just turned down. And
we were talking about the Chipotle too. We were like making notes and being like, oh, look at that. Or like, oh, these tables and how come that chair is crooked? And we were talking about it. And then all of a sudden the music just turned down.
And it made me wonder a question, Zara. It made me wonder a very specific sequence of words. It made me wonder, what's going on over there? Zara, what is going on over there? Why'd they turn down this music?
I don't know, but it immediately made me wonder if like they wanted to eavesdrop so that they could give us Yelp reviews, like us as customers. They're going to be like, this bitch fucking...
This is like that Black Mirror episode where like everyone has like a person rating.
Yeah, like the social credit score.
Yeah. Restaurants are just like trying to get back at people, be like, give us a frickin' 2.7 on Yelp. We're giving you a 2.5. You know,
honestly,
whatever.
I kind of get it. I don't like the social credit score idea. Obviously, it's kind of terrifying. Everybody has a bad day, whatever. But if you're going to be a dick to service people, then like people should know.
I actually don't disagree with that. And it's like you should get like, first you get demoted from like dine-in privileges are taken away. You can still get to-go orders.
Oh my God.
And maybe with good behavior, you'll be able to dine in again. But then, like, if you're a dick to the takeout people, then it's like you can only Postmate.
Yeah, and then if you're a dick to them when you're like picking up to-go orders or Postmates or whatever, then it's like you really can't come back from that.
You just don't get to eat again. You're cut off from food.
Yeah.
You have to go out and like scavenge, like forage.
Oh my God.
You have to go hunting for your food.
Jesus Christ.
Chipotle getting this. Look, there's a lot we can glean just from the music turning down a slight bit. But I think we figured it out. I mean,
it's a window into a really dark world. I mean, because it wasn't even like they turned the music off. So it was like, they were like, oh, they're having music trouble, or like playlist ran out or something.
It's like when someone removes one ear of their headphone and be like, what's happening? What, hold on. Yeah,
exactly.
Speak up. Yeah.
It's like there's something going on.
They're monitoring you. Oh, there is something going on. We have, in fact, figured it out. That is what's going on over there. I guess a few more things about this atmosphere. One of the notes that you like kind of said as to what we were discussing when they did turn down the music, the chair backs were just like, fuck it. They were just like, it felt like they were just stapled on.
Yeah, it didn't look safe. It really, like, the chairs were normal. The size was normal. The placement was normal, but the backs of the chairs were crooked.
They were just, and every single one was unique and different, but not in an artistic choice way.
Yeah, it was bolted like that.
It was like, these were meant to be uniform, and they are not. And it's like, some are very crooked, some are not. I mean, I don't think they're out here supporting people with scoliosis. Like, oh, we have a chair for you.
It doesn't feel like an inclusive effort.
No.
Yeah.
It feels like just a very
someone wasn't sober effort.
All right, everyone, stay after work. We've got some chairs to assemble. Can we at least drink? Hell yeah. This is Chipotle.
Yeah. Bolt this chair over some Modelo's.
Yeah. It seemed like the full like array of village people came in here. There were police. I didn't see a fireman, but there was a table of construction workers.
Still in hard hats.
Still had their hard hats on.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, just the amount of government presence in here, it felt like it was way too much.
This is...
I'm giving it out. All right. There's an award, the This Is Way Too Much award, and I am giving it to who's leaving on their full work attire during their Chipotle lunch. Construction workers, cops, like the AT&T phone store employee. I mean, that I understand because it's just like a polo.
Sure.
But everyone was like full uniformed up.
It's true. There was also a guy who you might have not seen because your back was to him, but he was dressed in all black and clean shaven, which is rare these days.
Yeah.
And sunglasses indoors.
Was this Agent Smith from The Matrix?
He sort of seemed like that. And he was sitting at a table with nothing on the table.
Yeah.
And it's like, who does that?
Did he have one of those like wire earpieces?
He might as well have. But they were the kind of frameless sunglasses. So they weren't even stylish. It was like, it was weird. And then obviously at Chipotle, you get your food first and then sit at a table. So it wasn't like he was just finishing up and he was like waiting for something. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I see them pull out like 2 huge boxes of Chipotle catering. And he just picked them up like the boxes stacked higher than his eyeballs. And he was like, I got it. Thanks. And he was just like walked out all business.
Hey, the CIA got to eat too.
Dude, if I had to choose a meal, it would be.
Literally all government employees were at this Chipotle.
Seriously.
Construction workers, police.
Yeah, I saw a woman reading a book. She could be anybody.
You also went to the bathroom and had an incident.
Oh, that was weird too. So first of all, there was a code.
Yeah.
Which
There's a door code.
Yeah, there's a door code. And then which automatically makes me feel like I'm like in an elite club because I like
I know
the code.
I know the numbers.
Yeah. So I went in, there were 2 stalls and I tried both. They were both locked. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait until someone finally leaves. I go in there and then I look down on the floor. No other feet are in the bathroom. None. So that stall is locked. Why?
Yeah.
And then when I left, you had the receipt and the code that was on that receipt is different from the code that I used to go into the bathroom.
I think it was for the men's restroom. It seems like that was what it was.
So the receipt is gender specific. So if I had paid, then I would have gotten the female code?
No, I think they just default to the man.
Are you serious?
I can't imagine they have a sophisticated machine to where the person ringing you up goes, this is a man, this is a woman.
No, I don't actually think that. But do you really think that they're just defaulting to man?
That or it's an outdated code.
Right. The Chipotle demographics, though, what do you think they are? Is it mostly male? Probably, right?
Yeah. Burritos feel like a hefty...
Boy food? Burrito boy? You're a big burrito boy?
Big burrito booth boy.
It does feel a little mannish.
Big bad burrito
There's
baby
something
booth
very
boy.
masculine about like holding your food and being like direct.
I tear into it.
Yeah, like direct to face food.
I think I just realized. I think tortilla is meant to simulate like skin. Like it's very primal. Like I'm biting in and I'm eating the innards from this thing.
I also really appreciate the lack of utensil. I love no utensil food.
Yeah. But napkins are a different story. I went through like 9. I was just like, my face, every single bite felt loaded with guac.
Yeah. Lucky bastard.
Just guakkake.
You go. That's great.
BuGuacke?
Ooh, I like the first one better.
I don't know if I do. I don't like either.
I don't like what is happening.
Yeah.
No, I actually really appreciate Chipotle's napkins. I have like a huge inventory in the center console of my car. Come for the napkins, stay for the burritos, as far as I see it.
Anyways, all this to say, I have no respect for the atmosphere of Chipotle. From the drip to the weak art to like the style of it. I don't love it. I'm going 2 thumbs down on the atmosphere of a Chipotle.
Okay, fine.
You get your say.
I mean... I'll go 1 down, 1 up, 1 down.
So
can you do that?
You can just go 1 thumb in the middle.
Oh, thumb in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm doing because
no thumbs.
Because I look at Chipotle as its own standalone beautiful entity.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing it to anything to be able to like say, "Oh, it's better than this or worse than this." And yes, the atmosphere is not very exciting. But they make up for it in the glory of the burritos.
Right.
So.
And we'll get to those. And they'll get their own day in the sun. They'll get their own rating.
Sure.
But the atmosphere, yeah, for me, 2 thumbs down, 0 thumbs.
Service.
There was discussion of adopting our burrito preparer.
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say that they killed it.
I have an axe to grind when it comes to fast casual restaurants. I just believe that like you can't get 2 thumbs up if you're not coming to the table and building a rapport back and forth and you're seeing them a bunch. Like you get 1 visit at the front, they prepare your thing, hand it to you, and you're out of their life forever unless you decide to go back up. But that said, you can still have a very pleasant time within that. This guy was very nice, and based on scouring all the Yelp reviews in advance, I was expecting the worst because there were so many reviews about lack of urgency from the employees, about just abject rudeness and skimping. And this guy was not skimping on portions.
No, he was really honest with his work. This is my question to you. Chipotle employees are technically service people, right? Because you're like ordering from them and stuff, but they are also the makers of the food. So like, does the way they prepare the food like go into the service rating?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, to a degree.
Okay.
The food rating to me is the taste of it. So the preparation, yeah, I guess that goes to service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he did great on my burrito. He was fucking shit with your burrito. I don't know.
Sloppy shop.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but he wrapped mine tight.
He got the yips.
Oh What is that?
It's like a sports affiliated thing where like you're on a hot streak and then all of a sudden you like choke, and it's kind of like a mental thing and you can't perform under pressure. But like you're throwing in baseball, like if you're a pitcher, starts getting bad, they call it the yips.
Oh, like LeBron every time he breaks a record?
Yips and salsa.
That was really beautiful. I hope you see my pit stains when I lift my...
Well, look, last episode we were talking about the various ways that Chipotle is trying to exit you, and your body is like, no, but I want it.
Yeah, I've never had Chipotle diarrhea, but it is coming out of my armpits, so maybe that's just my body chemistry or whatever. So he really killed it on mine, got cocky, I guess, and thought that he had yours under control. And he literally, what was the quote he told you? Like, guacamole is going to burst out.
He said there is a chance that the guac will burst out of this. Yeah. He was like warning me, like, this is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, he's like, this is an avocado missile that's like headed right to your face.
And I'm like, sir, this is a Chipotle. Everything here is a ticking time bomb, and I am aware of that.
Yeah. You were like, oh, it'll be fine. And then sure enough,
I went through so many napkins. Nothing like exploded onto me, which was preferable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely had a lot of like beard residue that like,
yeah.
I think I asked you a couple times, like, am I okay?
Yeah. Does it look like the Hulk came all over my face?
Do you think the Hulk's jizz is green?
I mean, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think that your skin color correlates to your jizz tone.
Well, what color do you think his cup is?
I think
someone's got to ask.
I think it's like raspberry preserves.
Oh, okay. So it
it's
looks like a Christmas
and
tree.
Red.
Yeah. Just all holiday. He was sweet because I would be like, oh, can I do like half pinto, half black? And he was like, of course.
Mm-hmm.
When people say of course instead of nothing or yes.
Yeah, or just,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's got it on lock with the My Pleasure shit.
I've never
Have you never been to
No.
Every single interaction, like, thank you, my pleasure. It does feel nice to, like, interact with a person who, like, I was delighted in serving you. We know it's not true.
I don't mind being lied to.
But that veneer, like...
No, totally.
Yeah.
I wonder, is that a reflection of the, like, church... like
part of Chick-fil-A?
Is that a reflection of their like religious mission?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't actually know. I haven't done a Chick-fil-A episode, so I haven't really done my deep dive into the culture of Chick-fil-A.
Got it.
But
I hear great things.
They make a good waffle fry.
I love waffle fries.
Yeah. I just said I would adopt this guy, and then you were like, why aren't you including me in that, as though I'm going to burden you with an 18-year commitment?
I mean, he was already at least 28. So I don't know.
Kids these days are moving out at 46.
Yeah, if he's Gen Z, then I think he still needs a little more support.
But he was very kind. For a place that I read would skimp on the meat, and I asked him, I was like, can I get some extra carnitas?
He had no problem.
Well, he hesitated, but he didn't say anything. And then he reached in and he did it. And then he was like, anything else? And I wanted like lettuce. And I was like, do you have enough room to close that? Because it was like a mountain of stuff at this point. I was like, do you have enough room to close it? He was like, yeah.
Not confident.
It was not confident. And then when you get the warning of this might explode onto you.
Yeah.
Nice kid.
Better than exploding out of you.
TBD.
Yeah, we'll see.
TBD.
We'll see.
There's time.
Yeah.
But I liked him well enough. I thought he did his job well. He was kind. I think fast casual has a cap, so I'm going 1 thumb up on service.
I'm going 2 thumbs up.
All
you
right.
know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm giving him 2 thumbs up, our boy.
All right. He is our boy because we adopted him.
That's why I have love for him.
Yeah.
Guy whose name I don't know.
We want to see him succeed.
Yeah. I mean, I probably shouldn't give 2 thumbs up because your
Mastros
burrito
exists.
was really because your burrito was so poorly executed.
Yeah.
You know? It's like in my heart.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell your kid that they're a 10.
Yeah, and you know that like
they're a 7.
There's room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a good parent.
Thanks.
Okay, it is time for the drawing for the winner of the contest for an all-expenses paid trip to your local Applebee's that I announced on the show 2 weeks ago. I've got a prize wheel with 37 names on it for all the people that applied. Thank you. Let's give it a spin. And our winner, Jeffrey Aronson, who says that Blimpie's is a more mediocre restaurant than Applebee's. Congrats, Jeffrey. I'll also announce this in the Fine Dining newsletter, but go ahead and email me, finediningpodcast@gmail.com, and claim your prize. And everyone else, thanks so much for playing.
Food.
Yum, yummy.
They don't have a big menu. So this is actually going to go pretty quickly in terms of like the number of things that we got and tried and tasted.
Yeah.
But I do want to start with drinks. You got an iced tea that wasn't made by Chipotle
Bottled, but I appreciate whoever's choice it was to carry
to
that.
stock it. I got the Agua Fresca, the Mandarin flavored Agua Fresca from Chipotle. And so it seemed like it was their drink. It didn't have a different branding on the container. It was like a little fountain of like the 4 little machines that.
It's always in a thing.
Yeah.
What is Agua Fresca? Because
Fresh water.
I know what the fuck it means, but what is it? Like, it's not fresh water. What is it?
Imagine it's just like literally from a freshwater pond.
Yeah.
There's fish in it.
I would understand it then. I
It's-
feel like everyone has a different definition of what Agua Fresca is. It's like when someone says luxury apartment and you're like, okay, does that mean that they're marble floors or is there just a lobby?
This tasted like I was drinking an orange Fanta with the carbonation removed.
That sounds disgusting.
It felt like the flattest Fanta you could have. I didn't love it. It didn't taste bad, but it felt like something was missing. It tasted incomplete.
just sounds like bad juice.
It tasted weak. So 2.5 out of 10 for the Mandarin Agua Fresca.
Okay, fair.
And then the food. They don't have dessert. There's nothing we can talk about there. I got chips, salsa, and guac. They asked what kind of salsa I wanted, and I got the red.
And dude, those chips were awesome.
Yeah.
The chips were actually way better than I thought they would be.
Yeah. And you said you're not a chips person.
I'm not a
which
chips guy, but
doesn't register to me. I don't understand. I've not met a person who's like, I'm not into chips.
oh, I mean, I'm not anti-chip or
Sure.
anything. They're more exciting things to me.
Yeah.
If it's with guacamole, I'll do it. But I'm not just like chips and salsa.
Mm.
They're too crunchy. It's just too much work on my jaw. I'm too lazy for that shit. Seriously. And the dipping and the carrying.
You have really made
and
lazy your brand to the point that like, I'm not going to do chips because you got to chew them.
I mean, carrots.
Are you a snake? Do you just eat stuff whole?
I really like eating burritos because they're easy to eat.
You did unhinge your jaw a little bit to you just took the burrito and went,
yeah, like a python.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really love burritos because it's like, burritos are like biting into a huge pillow. They're like soft and squishy and like chewy, right? It's not like
pulled a note out of yours.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was like a folded up 100, but made out of tortilla.
Yeah, that was weird. There was one piece of like tortilla that was way too hard.
Which I thought was very funny because usually when you pull out a thing that you're like, this is unpleasant, you don't then finish your bite and then eat the thing that you just pulled out, but you did that.
I wanted to see what it was, and then I was like, oh, this is just like the runt of the tortilla.
But it's still edible.
I mean, yeah, I went for it. I'm going to commit at that point.
Yeah.
But I love the chew that burritos have. The consistency is perfect. Whereas like soup is just eating like a big bowl of tears, for example. Like
chunky tears.
Chunky tears.
Yeah.
It's like, who is like, it's just like, it just falls. It's so sad. It's like a puddle, you know? Burritos, if you fell into
So
like,
it was like a soup that was outside from the radiator dripping. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Like that's how they make their gazpacho.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
They don't
Pretty
have it.
much. If I fell into like a whole pile of burritos, I would be safe. If I fell into a whole pile of soup, I think I would die.
When you see stuntmen jump off a building into like boxes
Of like foam and shit.
I feel like you would do that if it was just like, oh, that's a pit of burritos.
I would love to dive into.
You would get concussed and probably die. I don't think it would be a soft landing.
Really?
Yeah, there's no give. They're dense.
Not mine.
Hitting water from a high enough height is like concrete. I'm just saying burritos, depends how densely packed they are. But if it's like a ball pit of burritos,
Really? You think?
I think you would. It depends on the height. I think from 5 feet, you'll be okay. I think from like 20 feet, like you're
Maybe.
breaking something.
But I could nap in them, right? Like if you were just
Forever.
to like sleep
When you die.
But you could just like sleep in them, right? Like take the impact out of it.
God,
if it
you
was
would
just
be
like a mattress.
so stinky.
Yeah. But I think I already am. So
Lift that.
I'm afraid to show your viewers.
So the chips, I really liked. The guac, they know how to do guac.
Yeah.
I will hand it to Chipotle. They do really good guac. I went 8 out of 10 on the guac.
What does it take for you? Jesus Christ.
What?
Nothing's a 10?
There are 10s.
What's a 10
The
in
bloomin'
guacamole?
onion from Outback. Oh, I don't know. But the bloomin' onion from Outback is a definitive 10 for me.
Okay.
The harami skirt steak from Guakkake, the Australian ribeye that I had at Mastro's, the butter cake at Mastro's is a 10 out of 10. Would you rather have the butter cake or a cup of guac?
Cup of guac.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And-
I love butter cake, but like guac is just my love language. I can't ever pass up guac. I also really appreciated the chips. They were the right flake to crunch ratio.
They were firm, but they broke apart right when you needed them to, but they held firm during the dip.
That's huge for me.
Yeah.
I really whoever executed those chips were really like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I'm greatly appreciative.
So the chips, I gave a 7 out of 10 to. The guac, 8 out of 10. The salsa roja, I thought was just fine. I went 5.5 out of 10. Pretty middling. I usually prefer salsa verde, but
Me
I got
too.
salsa verde in my burrito, so I wanted to just vary the flavors. So the roja was fine. But talking about my entree, I got a carnitas burrito with the cilantro lime rice, pinto beans, lettuce, like some of the like fajita veggies they have, like the pepper and onion. I'm trying to think if I can, and then an exploding amount, an IUD of guac. Did I say IUD?
Yeah.
I meant IED.
Yeah.
The military explosive device, not a birth
not one that can't get
control.
pregnant. You want to make sure that
Oh, my burrito was very pregnant with guac.
there was no control on this birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of guac made this a very like squishy burrito. It was very wet. Like structural integrity didn't hold great because of that. But the tortilla, very warm, very nice, very tasty. The carnitas, I thought they did well. This is the first time I've enjoyed meat at a Chipotle.
Really?
I've gotten their steak before and I really didn't like the seasoning. I've gotten their chicken before and I thought it was very dry. I've never enjoyed Chipotle's offerings, but I had a feeling getting carnitas would work in their favor for me because I love good pulled pork. And yeah, it was a hit for me. So I went 7 out of 10 on this burrito.
Wow. Yeah, I remember when you were done, you were like, I'm actually disappointed that it's not worse.
I gotta fill out the low end of the tchotchke, Zara.
Oh my God, there's so many bad places you
There
could eat.
are. And I thought Chipotle was one of them.
I would never mislead you like that.
If I wanted Chipotle to fall in the low end, asking you is insane because of course you're going to rate it highly. So if I'm looking for like, oh, I need more stuff in the low end, you know, yeah. So tell me about your burrito.
I had a perfectly CPR'd tortilla with brown rice and half pinto, half black beans. I went Sofritas, which are actually way better than it sounds. Everyone gives tofu shit. I am here to say that tofu is actually way better when it's prepared properly.
Yeah.
There is boring tofu, but there's fucking great tofu, and it's seasoned well. It has a good spread, so it's not like chunks of tofu. It like kind of
It's evenly distributed.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then it's after that, it's just I think guac and lettuce and some salsa. I get the hot.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you had to score your burrito out of 10,
10. Why are you? There's no better. It's just excellent. Oh, wait. I also got the pico de gallo. So good.
Yeah.
For me, dude, it's hard for me. There are amazing breakfast burritos that I love as much as Chipotle. That's not something that they offer.
Right.
But I am such.
Look, you're a fan.
I can't not. But you want me to rate? I will rate the burrito a 10.
Yeah, that's.
But like,
Whatever your truth is.
But like the overall rating is what you.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Oh, that's not this.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just what you think of the burrito.
10, man.
You got it at a 10.
When the fold is right, sorry.
Yeah.
This is just really important to me. When the fold is right, which means tight, tight, tight.
Look at the camera. This is important to you. Like,
public. This is how you fold a burrito. You go tight with as little liquid as possible. When there's liquid in the burrito, it sacrifices the structural integrity. It makes it mushy. It makes it weak. You need the best Chipotle employees are the ones who drain all the liquid from anything that's liquidy. The salsa, the pico de gallo, the sofritas tend to be kind of liquidy. Beware of the employees who scoop from the bottom of the barrel. Skim the top. You just want the top because the liquid's already gone. And when they fold it, it needs to be tight, and make sure that it's not folded where each ingredient is side by side. You don't want just like one bite of all guac or all rice. The best Chipotle employees know that they have to fold it so that it's stacked like a mattress. You want it like so that one bite gets you every ingredient. Do you know what I mean?
do you have guac in your mattress?
If I did, I'd be so psyched.
Feel like a waterbed, but it spoils.
That would be my home forever. But it needs to be stacked on top, not side by side.
Yeah.
The saddest ones are when they're side by side, and that'll immediately drop my rating.
Yeah.
So it's like when it's great.
But they did it well for your burrito here
today.
today. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a 10.
All right. Overall on the food for Chipotle, how are your thumbs looking? I'm going 1 thumb up. Honestly, I came in with low expectations, having never had a good meat experience with Chipotle.
Yeah.
I expected 1 to 2 thumbs down.
Wow.
And my lowest rating was the Rojas salsa. Oh no, my lowest rating was that Agua Fresca at 2.5.
Fair.
But that was kind of like an impulse. I'm not. It's not weighted too heavily.
You also don't go to Chipotle for the Agua Fresca.
Right. They're a burrito place. They're a chips and guac place. I knew I wanted to load up on guac because I know that's their reputation is how good their guac is. And they delivered. And I got a burrito that I liked more than I thought. I liked the carnitas. So I'm going to go 1 thumb up on Chipotle's food.
Oh, man. I have to go 2 thumbs up on Chipotle's food.
I know you do.
I'm so loyal.
You're so loyal, you won't join their loyalty program because you want no discounts.
Yeah.
A crazy take.
If it was like really expensive, then I would be like, okay, I want to be able to continue supporting them.
Right.
But it's like it's affordable. I
can still pay rent.
Yeah.
I can still pay rent and eat Chipotle. So until that day comes where I can't,
I'm not even sponsored, and I really should be.
no corners cut here.
No.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, I literally get emotional.
All right. This is insane. We're gonna put this all together, and we'll be back with a final rating after I have a graphic that says final rating.
Final rating.
Okay, Zara, it's time to factor in everything, not just the food, the service, the atmosphere, the good with the bad, all of it. If you're putting Chipotle against every restaurant you've ever been to, the worst of all time is a 0, the best of all time is a 10, and you had to give it a number. Talk me through, what are you feeling?
Well, it's going to be above 5, obviously.
So you think it's above mediocre?
Yeah, definitely above mediocre. But, the atmosphere isn't anything to write home about. It's also so...
Can you imagine? Dear mother.
I sat in the industrial booth. That made me feel like I was...
I hope this letter finds you well.
Because the atmosphere is nothing to write home about. And so it's like a moving target with Chipotle because so much is up to chance,
It really is.
Yeah. So
if any restaurant has ever earned the title crapshoot, for more than one reason, Chipotle.
Yeah, seriously. Because it's not about the taste. Like, the taste is always consistent, but the product that you get
texture,
at the end,
consistency.
Yeah, the fold, all that. I mean, because it makes it unreliable, I probably have to say it hurts me to not give them a 10, honestly. But I mean, because your Agua Fresca was subpar.
And my fold.
And your fold was honestly abhorrent. 7.41.
We had very different takes on this place. I went 2 thumbs down on atmosphere, 1 up on service, 1 up on food. So that kind of, they cancel each other out. It's in that middle zone. To me, mediocre is 4 to 6. I'd rather go to Applebee's. And Applebee's is currently sitting on the tchotchke of mediocrity at a 5.02. It's the most mediocre place. My contribution to that rating was a 5.00. I thought it was incredibly mediocre. Chipotle wasn't there for me. I feel like, based on today's meal, I don't feel any more urge to go to Chipotle than I had before.
But you know their meat's good now.
Yeah, I may have a little bit more respect for them, but it's like, I don't know. It's like the show Yellowstone. Everyone says it's good, but I'm okay. Like, I'm good.
Okay. That I can actually understand.
I don't need it.
I'm just sorry that you're missing out, but I get it.
Yeah,
I get it when you compare it to Yellowstone.
There's so many seasons of Chipotle I would need to catch up on.
Yeah, that I get.
Yeah. So my rating, it is below average. I'm going 4.37.
Are you out of your mind?
I am so sane.
Did you hear my jaw crack?
I did. You sound like a snake. Your jaw just unhinged again.
Dropped so hard that it cracked.
But here's the thing. That means we can put our scores together and find a happy medium. Let's see. Chipotle goes up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at a 5.89.
That's still not high enough. I honestly should have given a 10. I don't know why I was trying to be fair about this.
And my favorite thing about that is it is a perfect tie with a restaurant, Twin Peaks. Do you know Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
It's like the restaurant that was founded because the guy was offended that kids ate at Hooters. The guy was like, I want to make a filthier Hooters.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
If you go, it's underwhelming. Like, I saw kids there when I went.
Okay.
So, like,
yeah,
it's fine. But it's like kind of like an elk ski lodge kind of vibe.
That sounds so
on
creepy.
Hooters. They've had like lingerie nights, and they've been like cited for public indecency for like having just their bare butts out, and they're serving food. You can't have a bare butt around food outside of like your own personal life.
Right. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's actually wild. I
Yeah.
would never, like, boobs and elk are not two like things.
Yeah. It's like a northern ski lodge.
That's like conflicting worlds.
Yeah.
If you're in a ski lodge, you're generally not
Bundled
topless.
up. You're bundling
Yeah.
up to be warm.
That's really weird.
Anyways, that's what Chipotle tied with.
Oh my God. You are really, you need your head examined, my friend.
But we can decisively say, without a doubt, Chipotle is better than mediocre.
Way better.
Better than mediocre. It's better than an Applebee's.
Way better, but fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Look, at the end of the day, this is kind of what I expected. It did better than I thought it would. And my mind has changed a little bit on Chipotle. I have a little bit more respect for it. But that said, it's not the perfect 5.00. It's not the most mediocre restaurant that's out there. So that means I have to keep looking. And Zara, to determine where I go next time, I'm going to go to the You Must Bowl. The You Must Bowl will tell me where I must go next time.
Okay.
Are we ready to find out?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, I thought I was choosing it for you. Sorry. I was like, that was the pressure.
No.
No, sorry. Go do your popcorn bowl dance.
All right. And next week, I will be going to
P.F. Chang's.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That does it for this week's episode of the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. We didn't find perfect mediocrity. Zara, thank you so much for joining me. It was such fun
So
having
great.
you here.
It's been like 60 years since we saw each other.
It's been actually 60 years.
Yeah, so I'm happy that we got together and broke bread over a tortilla wrapped with
We tried to break chips, but they wouldn't. They were so structurally
so
sound.
fucking good. My rating should have been higher, honestly.
You're going to just be lying awake later. Like, this is supposed to be my second nap time.
I really feel like I betrayed my own trust.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Well, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at Zara Mizrahi on Instagram, wherever he is putting the graphic.
Yeah. You can also find her at most Chipotles.
Yeah, any time of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Everything is on there. So that should
Awesome.
do it. Yeah.
And you can follow me at Fine Dining Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Send me an email of anything that you think. Doesn't have to be about the show. It can be anything.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Fine Dining Podcast at gmail.com. We're on YouTube now, so if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell, give it a like, give it a comment. It helps with the algorithm. Don't know why I'm saying it at the end of the episode. I really need people, everyone who hears it at the beginning of the episode to do that. But whatever. Here's where we are. We didn't find the most mediocre restaurant in America. The search does, in fact, continue. We'll see you next week.
Have a fine day.
The search continues. We still need the perfect five. The search continues. Like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The mother effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on. Follow us on TikTok, the same on Instagram, all the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on. And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next. Okay, we're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week. Hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.